Hi, fourth graders, and welcome back to Sun Devil Learning Labs. Our topic today is using two sources to gain information on a topic. Let's begin by going over our objective today, which is I can integrate information from two different sources using a chart to write a paragraph about a state. So take a moment to read that objective out loud, read that objective in your head, and really take a moment to focus on what we will be learning today and what we will be focusing on throughout our lesson. So in our objective, it said we will be integrating information from two different sources. So what does it mean to integrate information? To integrate means to combine one thing with one another so that they become a whole. Through this lesson, we will be integrating or combining information from two different sources. The sources we will be using are an article and a book in order to complete a chart of information and a paragraph on a state. And through integrating information from two different sources, we will have a better understanding of our topic of focus. So let's cover different types of sources. I'm sure you guys are familiar with these different types of sources and you've used them before. We have websites, informational videos, articles, diagrams, timelines, graphs, charts, books, and even brochures. All of these sources can help us to gain information on a topic. Why do we use multiple sources to gain information on a topic? We do this because it helps readers to gain a deeper understanding of the topic. It also allows readers to find different information in the sources, allowing for more knowledge on the topic. So in one source, there might be some information on a topic, and then another source might have even more information on the topic. So we can take all of that knowledge and put it together and be able to know a lot of knowledge on a topic. It helps us begin to think critically, and it helps readers to distinguish between big ideas about the topic and details. How do we gain information from sources? First, we prioritize our information, distinguishing between the big idea and details. So depending on what type of information we're looking for, we might just be looking for a big idea. We might be looking for big ideas and details about the topic, more information about the topic. Number two, distinguishing between fact and opinion. A fact being something that can be proven, and an opinion being a way someone feels about something, which cannot be proven. And number three, understand the relationship between two sources and what information we can learn from each. So understanding exactly how these two sources can be used together to gain a larger understanding on a topic is very important. Number four, focus on the most important information from each source that tells us about the topic being focused on. And remember, not all sources may have a lot of information, and that is okay. We're using sources to gain some sort of information, but not all sources will have a ton of information, and that's okay. It is important to pick out useful information from sources that will help us as readers to better understand the topic. And take your time when going through sources. You never know what information you might find. And I included a tip. So if you guys were doing this at home, if you were doing this in the classroom, and you have a hard copy of the information that you're reading from, take a highlighter and highlight information you're reading from a text or a source that you think will be helpful to better understand your topic. So highlight important details, important information, the big idea. And today we will be using two sources to gain information about the state of Arizona. So through using the two sources, we will be able to gain a lot of useful information to help us have a better understanding of the history and important details and characteristics about Arizona. We will compare the information that we have found in both of the sources to see what information we have found. And as readers, using two sources or even more on a topic will help to gain more information on the topic and have a better understanding of the topic. So I want you guys to pause the video and grab a pencil and a piece of paper, please. Okay, welcome back everyone. We should have a pencil and a piece of paper in front of us now. Next, we are going to draw out our graphic organizers, which are two different charts. We are using one chart for our article and one chart for our book. At the top, be sure to write National Geographic article on one chart as source number 1. And on the second one, Arizona Facts and Symbols book, source number 2. And be sure to write or allow yourself a lot of space to write. In your chart, you have a lot of different columns to write into, and focus on information. As you're filling in your chart, I want you guys to focus on information about the history, wildlife, and geography of Arizona. So when you guys are writing information into your charts, you can just jot down short notes, you can write full sentences, whatever you guys think is easiest for you and your understanding. So I want you guys again to pause the video and write out your charts, one for the article and one for the book. And when you are done with that, unpause and we will begin our readings. So source 1, our article from National Geographic for Kids. So we will be filling in our chart for the article when reading this source. When we are reading this source, we are going to be filling in information onto our chart for the article. Starting on the left, Arizona. Get facts and photos about the 48th state by Jamie Kiefel Alchin. Fast facts. Nicknamed the Grand Canyon State. Statehood 1912, the 48th state. Population as of July 2015, 6,828,065. Capital is Phoenix. The biggest city is Phoenix. The abbreviation is AZ. State bird is a Cactus Run. State flower is a saguaro cactus blossom. Now on the right, we have the history of Arizona. People lived in the area that's now Arizona at least 20,000 years ago before written history. But in the 1200s, the civilization disappeared, probably due to a drought. Much later, Native American tribes such as the Hopi, Zuni, Navajo, and Apache lived on the land. And today, 22 tribes still reside on reservations in the state. Spanish explorers first arrived in the 1530s, but through the 1840s, Arizona, as well as present-day California, Utah, Nevada, and New Mexico was a part of Mexico. The United States gained control of the land after winning the Mexican-American War in 1814. In 1863, Arizona became a territory, then joined the Union in 1920 as the 48th state. Why is it called that? Arizona's name may have come from an early Arizona explorer of Spanish descent, Juan Bautista de Anza, who may have called it Place of Oaks, or from Papago Native American words that translate the place of young spring. About 5 million people visit the state's nickname each year, the 277-mile-long Grand Canyon. So you guys should have some information written down into your chart about the article. At this point, should have some important facts about the history of Arizona. And we will continue. On the left, we have geography and landforms. Arizona is bordered by Nevada in the northwest, Utah in the north, New Mexico in the east, Mexico in the south, and California in the west. The Grand Canyon snakes through the northwest corner of the state in an area called the Colorado Plateau, carved by the Colorado River. The canyon plunges 6,000 feet deep at its deepest point and stretches 18 miles wide. In the northeast, the Painted Desert shows off 160 miles of colorful, horizontally stripped stone, as well as 200-million-year-old fossilized plants and animals in the Petrified Forest National Park. The Basin and Range province covers the rest of the state and includes the Sonoran Deserts, Sonoran Desert, and it extends over several other states. Wildlife. Black bears, desert bighorn sheep, and mountain lions roam in Arizona. Stranger animals such as the coatimindu, a raccoon relative with a tail striped like a lemur's, the pig-like javelina, and a small wildcat called a jaguarundi are also on the prowl. Birds such as raptors, California condors, and falcons fly overhead, while reptiles like Gila monsters, ornate box turtles, desert tortoises, and rattlesnakes creep through the desert. Amphibians like the endangered Sonoran tiger salamander live near lakes and ponds. Evergreens such as pino pines and junipers grow in mountains. And deserts are dotted with mesquite trees, flowering cacti, and shrubs such as sagebush and creosote bushes. On the left, we have natural resources. Arizona produces silver and gold, but its top metal is copper. The state produces the most in the United States. In the early 1900s, the state's copper helped build Arizona's railroads. Part of the largest stand of Ponderosas lies in Arizona and extends into New Mexico, which yield lumber and paper. So on the left, we have our Arizona flag, which I'm sure you are all familiar with. And on the right, we have some Arizona state symbols. We have our state flower being the saguaro cactus blossom, the state bird, the Cactus Run, the state tree, the palo verde, and our state quarter. On the right, we just have some fun stuff, some fun facts about Arizona. I am going to go over them a little bit quicker. You guys don't need to write any of this information into your chart. These are just fast facts, fun facts about Arizona. If you really want to dive deeper into these fun facts, you can pause the video and read them out loud or read them to a family member, a friend. We have Arizona was home to Apache warrior Geronimo, who fought Mexican and U.S. troops in the 1800s, civil rights activists and farm rights workers Cesar Chavez, and jazz performer Charles Mingus. Stargazers won't want to miss Kitt Peak National Observatory, which houses the world's largest collection of optical and radio telescopes. And again, if you guys want to pause this part of the video and really read into these fun facts, you can go ahead and do that right now. I just read over a couple of them, just a brief overview. And that will be it for our article on Arizona. So at this point, we should have a good amount of information written into our chart for the article. And we will continue with our book about Arizona. So source 2 is our book about Arizona. And while I am reading this book, we will be completing our chart for the book for our second source. So the name of the book is Arizona, Facts and Symbols by Emily McAuliffe. And we have the consultant who is Gwen Russell Harvey, Director of Education, Arizona Historical Society. So on the left, we have a map of Arizona, which highlights the city or the state's capital, cities in Arizona, the Colorado River, and places to visit. And you can see all of the bordering states. So our capital is Phoenix. The largest city is Phoenix. It has more than 1,300,000 people. The size of Arizona covers 100,014 square miles. Location, Arizona is in the southwestern United States. The population is 5,130,632 people. The statehood, Arizona became the 48th state on February 14th, 1912. National resources, Arizonians mine copper, coal, and silver. Manufactured goods, Arizonians make computer parts, build supplies, and dairy foods. And the crops are cotton, lettuce, and other vegetables. They also raise cattle and sheep. If you notice on this page, the population was a little bit different than in our article. This book was published earlier than the article, so the numbers are just a little bit different between the two because of the different times that they were created, which is okay. So we have on this page the state name and nickname. No one is certain how Arizona got its name. It may have come from the Tohono O'odham. Words all and shown together, the words mean little spring. The Tohono O'odham are a group of Native Americans. Arizona's best known nickname is the Grand Canyon State. The Grand Canyon is in northwestern Arizona. It is a deep valley with steep sides. The Colorado River wore away rocky land to form the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is the largest canyon in the United States. It is about 217 miles long and 18 miles wide in places. Parts of the canyon are more than 1 mile deep. Another nickname for Arizona is the Copper State. Each year, Arizona produces more copper than any other state. The Grand Canyon is in northwestern Arizona. It is the largest canyon in the United States. So now we have our state seal and motto. Arizona adopted its state seal in 1911. The state's seal is a symbol, which we can see on the left of this page. It reminds Arizonians of their state's government. The seal also makes government papers official. Arizona's state seal shows a miner, farm fields, and cattle, which if you look closely, you can see that. They stand for Arizona's most important businesses. The seal also has a river and a dam. They show how important water is to this dry, hot state. Arizona also has a state motto. A motto is a word or a saying that people believe in. Arizona's state motto is Ditat Deus. It means God enriches. To enrich means to improve something or someone. It also means to make wealthy. Arizona's founders hoped to become wealthy from the state's many natural resources. People in Arizona Territory adopted their motto in 1864. They kept this motto when the territory became a state. Arizona adopted its state seal in 1911. So again, as I'm going through this book, be sure to be focusing on the geography of Arizona, the wildlife, and the history. And next we have our state bird. The Cactus Run became Arizona's state bird in 1931. Many cactus wrens live in Arizona's desert. Cactus wrens build nests shaped like bulbs. These birds make many nests, but live in only one. The false nests confuse enemies. Enemies cannot be certain which nest is a wren's home. Female wrens lay 4 or 5 eggs each year in one of their nests. The eggs are white and with brown spots. Cactus wrens often build nests on cactuses. Cactus needles help protect wrens and their young from enemies. Adult cactus wrens grow to be about 8 inches long. Their heads and necks are mostly dark brown. The wrens have a white stripe above each eye. People can recognize cactus wrens by their song. Cactus wrens chug when they sing. They sound like small train engines. Cactus wrens often build nests on cactuses. So for our book, I decided to take some of the pages out to really focus on what we needed for our charts. The book was a little bit longer. If you guys wanted to look up the book after this lesson and read the entire thing, you're more than welcome to. We have on the first slide of the book the name of the slide and the author, which you guys could look up. And we will continue. We'll continue with reviewing our 2 charts that at this point should be completed with information from both the article and the book. Your guys' facts and information might look a little bit different than the ones I've included, which is totally okay. You guys might have written yours in full sentences or did kind of what I did and just jotted down information about the history, wildlife, and geography of Arizona. So let's start on the left side with information from the article. Arizona was established in 1912 as the 48th state. Nicknamed the Grand Canyon State, the state bird was a cactus wren, bordered by Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and California. The home to mesquite trees, flowering cacti, and shrubs cover the land. State capital is Phoenix. Wildlife includes black bears, desert bighorn sheep, and mountain lions. And Arizona produces the most copper out of all 50 states, which is something I did not know. I wonder if you guys also learned that today as well. Now we are going to continue to the review of our chart on the book, and we have some overlapping information between the article and the book, which is totally okay. And again, if you guys noticed throughout the read aloud of both of the article and book, they had differing information as well. The article had some more information, some different information than the book, and the book had some different information than the article. Using the 2 sources together helps us gain the most amount of information about Arizona. So again, our state capital is Phoenix, some overlapping information that we saw in the article and we saw in the book as well. Arizona is located in southwestern United States. The crops include cotton, lettuce, and other vegetables. It is home to the Grand Canyon, the largest canyon in the United States. The state seal was adopted in 1911. The state seal was not covered in the article, so that was something that we learned from the book and did not learn from the article. The seal shows important Arizona businesses through a minor, farm fields, and cattle. The Cactus Run became the state bird in 1931. And another nickname for the state is the Copper State, which we did not learn about in the article, which is pretty interesting. Now that we've gone over our charts, I would like you guys to take a moment to think of the top 5 facts you learned about Arizona today. Just take a moment to really think about these facts and think about how these facts, how you found these facts in the 2 sources, combining the information together, or looking at information that was maybe included in the book and not included in the article. And how can these facts be used to write a summary about Arizona? So when thinking of these top 5 facts, which should be in your chart, you guys can go ahead and star them if you want, or highlight these facts on your chart just to know, just to make note of these facts really standing out to you, and these being your top 5 facts that you learned about when you learned about Arizona today. And think about how using 2 sources helped you to gain a better understanding about our topic. So think of how we use the 2 sources, the article and the book, to integrate the information in order to gain a better understanding about information about Arizona. So we combined the information from both the book and the article to gain a better understanding about Arizona. Just think about how your chart really helped you do that. The chart helped you guys stay organized and help you realize what information you got from the article, what information we got from the book. And then after reading them, we were able to come together and really focus on what we learned today from the 2 sources. Our next task is to write a paragraph about Arizona. So I want you guys to pause the video and use the chart you completed from the 2 sources to complete a paragraph about Arizona facts, which should be 4 to 5 sentences. If you guys remember, I had you star or highlight important facts that really stood out to you guys today on your 2 charts. You can use these facts to create complete sentences to complete a paragraph summary about Arizona. And for number 2, we have, once you are done, read the paragraph to someone nearby, a parent, a teacher, a family member, or friend, and show off what you learned today. And then for number 3, we have, think about our objective. Our objective was, if you remember from the beginning, I can integrate information from 2 different sources using a chart to write a paragraph on a state. So through writing the paragraph, we have really completed hitting our objective. We completed writing a paragraph summary about information that we gained from 2 different sources. So go ahead and pause the video and write your 4 to 5 sentence paragraph summary about Arizona facts that we learned today, and then read that paragraph to someone nearby. All right, welcome back, guys. I want you guys to do one more thing. Ask yourself, does my summary combine the information I learned from both sources, speaking knowledgeably about the topic of the state of Arizona? So you guys should be pretty familiar with your summaries by now. You wrote it and you read it to someone. So really think, did your summary combine information from both of our sources? Did you take information from the book and the article to speak knowledgeably about the topic state of Arizona? You know, take a moment to really think about that, put your thinking caps on, and just really think about that question. You can go ahead and pause the video if you need to and come back after that. And finally, we will cover what we learned today. Today, we learned how to integrate 2 sources in order to speak knowledgeably on a topic. So the question that we just spoke on in the last slide that we just thought about was about using 2 sources to speak knowledgeably on a topic, which we did do through our summary that we completed using the 2 sources. Next, we learned the importance of integrating sources in order to gain a full understanding of a topic. And we also learned how to collect relevant information using a graphic organizer and using that information to write knowledgeably on the subject. You guys did great today. We had an awesome week this week. I hope you all enjoyed this week learning as much as I did. I will see you all next week. I hope you all have a great weekend, and goodbye, fourth graders.